Warning, spoilies ahead. Why don't you know your bridges? I know you're a bridge enthusiast.
I used to be.
Yeah.
I used to be really into bridges. All kinds of bridges.
Jeff Bridges,
Yeah,
Lloyd Bridges,
yeah.
suspension bridges, log bridges,
Bridges that trains might roll over. Really,
bridges,
I just,
bridges that trains might go under too.
yeah, but then we're talking tunnels.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole different episode altogether.
That's a whole different ball of wax. If you ask me.
Hello, and welcome to Two Guys, One Film, part of the Project Nerd Podcast Network.
Fantastic.
Is that good? Was that good?
That was perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And this week, we watched The Beyond, the 1981 horror classic, The Beyond. I am probably going to butcher the fuck out of these names because they're like Italian. So I think it's Lucio Fulci, I'm going to go with. And it was written by Dardano Sacchetti, Gregorio Marizu, and then Lucio. I don't know my
man.
Giorgio Mariuzzo, and then
don't worry, I would be butchering it as well.
And Lucio Fulci, that's the director. He also I think he did Zombie and Zombie 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Also good.
Yeah, also good movies. So a quick synopsis of the movie. Quick synopsis of the movie. Louisiana, 1937, I think it was. Bunch of I don't know. It was like
I had to rewind it because that went really, really quick.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and people with torches go and get this wizard, this warlock, and he is in charge or sealing one of the gates of hell. I don't know. There's 7 gates of hell throughout the world, and one of them happens to be underneath this hotel.
Just open.
Well, they open it later on in the movie, so that's like sealed up, and then like when Bozo Joe goes into it is when it starts to like open up. But
you literally had to break down a brick wall to get into it. I thought it had like was some sort of like a curse where it had like not really closed because the way that I don't know what it was.
Well, nothing bad happened until that started happening. Well, I mean, okay. Once again, let's go through this fucking thing. I'm gonna try to go through the synopsis without.
We always do that. We always like start jumping in to like.
Let's not jump it in. But like, so the guy says like it's cursed, one of the 7 gates of hell. Flash forward, this lady gets a hotel from her like dead uncle, like inherits it, and then one of the gates of hell open and just chaos ensues. It's just one thing after another.
You were about to say hilarity.
Yeah, I was about to say hilarity. But like it must have not been closed because like the first thing there's like the painter guy on the scaffolding, and he sees the Schweidi. What is his name? I really don't know the fucking. It's like not Schwifty. I keep wanting to say Schwifty. Schweik, the warlock guy. Yeah. He sees like him in the mirror,
and eyes all
and then he
looking at him.
Falls off like a 1-story scaffolding, instant internal bleeding, just throwing up blood like left and right. I saw the face.
I'm gonna scoot back just a minute.
With
the super and the intro scene was really cool. I really liked it, like the camera, like a lot of the close-up eyes thing, a lot of focus on the 36 or something on there, 39 or whatever. That's
36. Yeah, it keeps coming back up. What I love about this movie and this kind of style of Italian movies, like they weren't afraid to use zooms. Yeah, because like film school and shit, they're like, don't zoom, it looks cheap, don't do that. But like I love this because like zooms really added to shit. It would like zoom in, zoom out, and then like you said, like close-ups on eyes, like really sweaty eyes.
Yeah, I don't know, something about that. Maybe it's just because we just watch that kind of stuff so much. It doesn't seem cheesy to me.
No, I think it added to it really cool and made like a different, like, I don't know, stylistically, it's really cool. And I also like want to point out that there's guys taking a boat across, but then other guys just drove up on cars. I'm like, why didn't we all just take cars together? Do we have
I
to
know.
flank them on boats? Like, we got them.
Well, just in case they try to escape by boat.
And then they bring the torches inside, which there was like,
Yeah, I'm like, there's light inside.
you're gonna burn that house down.
See, I thought they were gonna burn it down, and then they just like crucify the guy. And then like, are they? What is that white stuff? Is that wax? Like, what
But
are they throwing at him?
I think it was like
Is it?
sulfur or like some sort of like hot adhesive or something, like something to seal it, because it's bubbling in the pan
Yeah,
and
and
they
like
take it and then
melting
they
and
like,
like
I thought it was just hot cheese soup, but I mean it's like in a sepia
it's
tone.
so.
You can't really see what color it is in sepia. But the whole like
Well, I guess that's right.
the chain effect was one of my favorites, and they just like whip him in the face and all over his body, and it's like how it's just like tearing skin
Rips him
off.
open. They're
It's
like,
very like visually like fucking gory. And what this movie goes very slowly with its gory scenes, and with like any intense scene, it's like so slow, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then just like wow, ripping up, and then pouring hot cheese soup on his head, and it's melting so slow, and they're like, well, it looks cool, let's get as many
like
camera shots as we
crucifying him to
can.
the wall, and the blood just like pouring out of him. I always noticed that like the weird like the music would always kind of get odd when somebody was like melting
Mhm.
dying. Well, it wasn't like scary. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like the scary scene, like there'd be freaky music, but during the spots where people's like faces and shit were melting, it would just be like a guitar like over some synth, but that didn't sound super scary, but not like, I don't want to say like happy, just like calm music. It was weird.
Yeah, this this movie goes good on jump scares, but not in the way of like stuff actually jumping out at you. Like it'll be a really quiet scene,
Yeah.
and then the next scene will just be like, oh, like into it, or and then it would go back to it. So like there's like a part where like he's honking his horn, looking at the lady, and it goes to the morgue. It's like really quiet in the morgue, and it goes back to like something really loud. And like that's what made me jump the most, was like the alarm thing for room 36 kept going off, and it kept
Oh
making
yeah.
me jump. Like, oh,
Oh, that's the alarm for room 36.
I'm looking for keys. He's all sweaty. Poor Arthur. He's not really that much help. He's more in the way. We'll get rid of
Just
him. Well, they came with the house.
sweats.
So sweaty. Ooh.
They came with the house, like they're just like, like it's just a piano someone left behind or something.
Oh, you get all the workers in the house. They came with it. I ain't taking them home. Nope.
I'm sick of paying him.
We're not.
Arthur guy doesn't do much but sweat. Walk
Mhm.
around and sweat.
Look at the keys. Ooh. And I like how it's like obviously not people speaking that language. I'm sure like some people were speaking Italian and stuff, and like some were, speaking English. And once again, they dub over everything. But like how they would give them a Louisiana accent, like the guy in the library is like, oh, that book's been here for 20 years. And nobody's ever bought it. And he's like, mouth's not even matching. And he's like, I don't know.
And then like he's just we were talking about like that bookstore owner.
He's laughing.
Yeah, but like what's so funny about that, and what it made me laugh, is he's like, as those two are talking, you can just hear him giggling in the back. Like
He was probably reading some
completely done talking to him, and you just hear him.
he was reading some Gary Larson's Far Side comics, and he's like, oh, this is my
man,
favorite.
I would be doing the same thing that he was.
So at the beginning, when Liza's like driving down that really long bridge that's in the middle of nowhere, is that the
Mhm.
same bridge from True Lies? Remember at the end, there's like Jamie Lee Curtis is in the limo, and he's like chasing him down with the thing, and it's just like a bridge over water, and it's like nothing surrounding it. Like, where's this go? To and fro.
I'm trying to remember where that bridge actually is, because like that's what I was thinking when I saw it. I'm like, where is this?
So I love how like Joe the plumber goes down in there and like slowly breaks open a wall, and like how flooded this hotel is. I'm like, how is this not just like falling apart? There's like a literal
know,
like
'cause
river going through it at one time.
Yeah, and there's water outside, and they're in Louisiana. That whole place is unstable. When if it was standing for as long as it was, it's like, yeah, how is that even stable? Like the upstairs looks okay. I don't know.
When she's walking down the hall and she like runs her finger over her desk and she goes, I'm like, you just got the place, right? He was like, oh, it's so dirty. And it's like, you just
Why
got
is it
it.
so dirty?
Oh, but I love how that one lady that looks all like sickly that also works at the place when she sees like when Joe gets like grabbed by uh the the guy and he like gets pulled down. She comes in there and she sees like Joe drowning slowly and she's just like so calm about it. And
She's
then when
calm about everything.
she is, yeah. Which I don't want to jump forward, but I'm going to jump forward on that one scene where there's that tub full of like gross, hairy, thick water. And what does she do? Roll up my sleeves, just get my
Yeah,
hand right
just
in there.
and I noticed this about people in this movie. They're like just not scared to get into gross water.
Mm.
Like the plumber
Mm.
just hops right in,
Like
don't
the
even put any boots on or anything. Just
and like so Joe dies
Mhm.
and they get him to the morgue so fast and they get an autopsy so fast. Like I thought that shit took like days or weeks usually. And it's just like, oh, he's dead. Get him to the morgue. Sew him up.
This guy, I guess this guy is just he's an efficient coroner. Is that what he
Mhm.
is? Is that what
Yeah.
they are? The ones or do they just collect about I don't want to be calling stuff what it isn't,
Mhm. I think a
It-
mortician or
oh,
a
there you go.
coroner. I think coroner like does the autopsy. No, I don't know. It's been a while since I've
Mortician just
watched
checks
X
them out.
Files because it's like what Scully is too.
Well, and then I noticed, is that his wife that comes in there? That's what I'm assuming it was supposed to
Yeah,
be.
who like puts the suit on him, but
Yeah,
has
it's
to
like, why is
cut
she
it because she
dressing
doesn't want to like
like I
look.
thought it was
Yeah,
like the people that work there's job to do that.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe things are just different in Louisiana.
Well, that morgue is really weird and futuristic. Like, hang
That's
on,
true.
it's like from like Alien. It's like so white. Everyone's in like clear plastic, and like the guy's like, I want to use my scientific brainwave machine. Like,
Yeah,
well, okay, well, I'm gonna come and do the autopsy when I come back.
like why do you need to why are you using a brainwave thing on a bunch of dead bodies? And also this guy that's like obviously been dead for quite some time.
Yeah, he
But
should be right. He's petrified
starts beeping though, dude.
when he's not in the room,
Yeah.
which I'm pretty sure it beeps the intro to Crazy Train really slow. It's like, do, do, do. I was like, oh, gee, I, right, dude. Yeah, why does she like? Why does she? And the bad part is like she had to cut up the shirt because she couldn't
Yeah.
lift him up.
And then I'm like, well, I mean, she got it done quick. And did she have to cut like the rest of the suit?
Yeah, so I just imagine like it's just a suit poorly draped over a corpse. If like a breeze knocked by, it's just gonna like half his suit's
Or
gonna
they're gonna
slide
like
off.
pick him up and it's just gonna like slide off all awkward.
Man, I took for and I'm glad she had shears with her too. Just fabric shears cut through all that shit too.
Well, I mean, she came prepared. She was like, you know what? I don't think like I'm gonna be able to lift his ass. I'm gonna bring up some scissors so I can,
Mhm.
you know, properly dress his corpse. Again, it still feels weird that she had to do that.
And then this led into one of my favorite scenes in the movie of she just like starts screaming for no real reason.
Yeah.
And then the daughter comes in, and then like the largest loose bowl of sulfuric acid that we just put on a top shelf just tips over, and she was laying underneath of it. And
It's just
I was like,
wobbling around when she comes in there.
and it's like, how much is in there? It just doesn't stop. And I feel bad for how much like liquid they had to pour on this lady's face while also having like baking soda. So it's like flowing. So it probably had to be like vinegar too. So she's like sitting there like
I
that. And
know.
it's a cool effect. Like I'm glad they took
It's a
their
very
time to
long scene.
like they all are super long. It's
Like the slow, like gooey mess like creeping toward the door.
it's so foamy too. It's like
Yeah.
so bubbly.
It's like some kid made a volcano, a fake volcano.
Oh, whoops, too much baking soda and vinegar.
Oh
Mom's gonna be
no.
mad. So, and then, okay, after that, the doctor, I don't remember his name, John, I think it's John, whatever.
Yeah.
He sees Liza in her car and he's like honking the horn at her. And then they go into that bar and they have like a drink. And then the hospital proceeds to call him at the bar. Like they knew he was going to be there.
He's always
Bartender's like, hey,
I
John,
know.
where's
I was like,
the phone
I
swinging,
thought that
John?
too. He must hang out there a lot. Oh, it's cool. I mean, like he drinks a lot, but he's the best doctor.
This doctor we got.
The only doctor we got.
So please, we really need to keep him on staff.
I noticed I noticed there's a lot of people's eyes getting messed up in this.
Yeah, the when Joe's first like eye gets like popped out and it's like so slow. And then my other favorite death scene was the nail when Joe's got it like going on that.
Yeah,
And then oh, and then the spider scene, the loudest tarantulas in the world,
yeah,
also the
they're
slowest
marching.
tarantulas. Yeah.
They're marching. They're squealing.
And then they pull that guy's like eye out and then
They're like
bite his lip.
his tongue. Like those are some carnivorous.
Very loud too. They made a lot of noise.
I liked it though because they used like some fake ones, some real ones.
I felt bad for the guy because he like had to have him on his face until it was like the fake one. And how
Yeah.
you could tell like the rubber ones were just like scissors put into its mouth so they could just like cut into the tongue or cut into the lip, you know. It looked good. I mean, it's cool.
It looked cool.
He bleeds like fucking crazy.
He's alive for some of it.
I like how when you could tell it was the fake head because his teeth got suddenly really gross.
Yeah. And then the eye up there.
Yeah.
It looks like a wax.
And I like how they only take little bits of like just cut his lip and they're like, yeah, it's good. Cut his tongue.
I mean, it's not, I mean, a tarantula's big, but I mean, jaws are only so big.
You never see the end of that too. Did they eat his whole body or did they just like chew him up?
Well, doesn't he come back? Like, isn't he in that room with the like?
Oh yeah, because she's yelling at
His
them
face
like,
is just a little jacked up.
yeah, like I don't want to go back. I don't. Yeah, I think he is one of the ones. Which I think Arthur was in there, but it was before he found out that he was dead. Because I was watching, I was like, what happened to Arthur?
I like that. I love that dog scene though.
Yeah,
Like
and
just a calm dog, just sitting there, and then just wow.
That's a good jump scare.
It was good.
Also, funerals happen really fast because like that girl's dead parents' funeral happens really fast, and everyone's like giving her hugs, and then when Liza gives her a hug, and she opens her eyes, and they're all white. Ooh.
They're efficient in Louisiana. I know when I saw that, I kept thinking like, why? And then I thought, well, maybe she went blind because of like all the trauma,
It was the spooky door. It was the Hell's Gate.
Hmm.
Which I do like this Emily girl, the blind girl. I think she was the girl reading the book at the beginning, right? The Eben, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
In the flashback. I'm pretty sure that's her.
Yeah.
Because they like want to bring her back. She's like, I'm not going back. But she has when she's talking. Yeah. When she's talking to Liza in the room, she's like, is there somebody here? And the way that Liza's like, Emily, nobody's here. And it seems like she's like gaslighting her. Like she totally knows, like, Emily, no one's here, you stupid. And it's like,
yeah, nobody. You can't see me winking, but
there's nobody here. Just making
you winking.
Poor...
I can't hear you winking.
I can hear your eyelids.
Oh God, there is somebody here.
Your eyelids are as loud as tarantulas.
I'm gonna start using that. Like, God, you're being as loud as tarantulas.
Oh God. Which once again, guy falls from like not so tall of a height and is like incapacitated, like eyes in his back of his head. I mean, maybe that would happen to me. Like if you fell just right in a library, just
I mean, it does like our bodies are resilient, but I mean, you fall the right way, yeah, you're done. It's crazy, like, extremely strong bones, but you fall like just a little weird on your head.
Boom, done. There was a line I loved when Liza was talking to Emily. She's like, or no, she was talking to, I think it was Emily. And she goes, I lived in New York all my life. And there's one thing that I've learned, it's not to believe in ghosts. I was like, that's the only thing you learned in New York was don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, you live in New York. You don't believe in ghosts. That's stupid.
And then in that scene where Emily's hands start to bleed and she just like runs so gingerly out of the house.
Like her hands like right next to her body.
Not like she screams and then just like runs so daintily and like the dog follows.
Both run out of the house like that. They like put their arms directly to their sides and then run out. And also, why was she in the middle of the road when she was driving up? What kind of seeing eye dog is that?
Yeah, a really bad one. It's like, oh, this should be a good spot, lady. I'm gonna tear your fucking throat out and your ear off later on. I love that.
I did too. I wasn't expecting the ear. I really thought the dog was gonna go for her eye.
Oh, when John comes up to Liza and he's like, you said there was a a blind girl living in that house down the road. It's like, there's no blind girl there, and I know everyone in town. I was like, ooh, big deal. Big
Like,
doctor knows everyone in town.
so
Fucking
maybe
whoop
she's
de
a hermit.
shit.
Maybe she doesn't want to be she doesn't want to be bothered. But then he goes in there.
Yeah. When she's outside of the library, I don't know if you noticed this, the camera zooms so hard on that book, it like shakes because they like just like cranked it so hard and it goes,
No, I didn't notice that.
we gotta get the zoom, guys, get it fucking hard.
Yeah, they need to bring that back. I like it because I mean, you're watching a movie. It's not real. Why can't it be like, a movie? I wish people would do it again. Bring back the Zoom.
Yeah, like I know people, kind of use it here and there. Butthole Tarantino uses it a couple times. Like Wes Anderson uses it, but he uses it really cool too. Like he does it in a really cool like zoom in way. But this was like over the topping it. So it's like regular shot, zoom in and then zoom back out on them to show like the other stuff going on. It's fucking cool camera work. Like we don't do that anymore.
I know. I'm saying we should do that. I wish somebody would do that.
Bring it back. Bring back the Italian horror movies and biscotti westerns. I love biscotti westerns.
I just like me some biscotti.
Mm-hmm. So does this movie like really expect me to believe that a tiny lantern can like light up an entire basement? Like they're using the smallest things and like,
I was
I
wondering
can
that
see
too, and I'm like,
perfectly.
why aren't you using regular flashlights? Isn't it supposed to be like 80 something?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
future 80?
it came with the house. I have to use them. Just like these poor help, I have to use them. I have to use the lanterns as well.
No, you're not going to upgrade, then why bother fixing the leak in the basement?
Just let Joe drown and let Arthur drown. I don't remember what happened to Arthur. He just was going to mix some mud in a bucket and then dead. And he grabbed her when she's walking by.
Oh, not like you don't see anything happen to him. You just like it's just like looking through that hole.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was just gonna plaster it up and then that's it. That's the whole scene.
They killed him before they could. He's not sealing the door to hell. No siree.
And he was so close too. I noticed that people seem to have like really gruesome deaths in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Like
real
it's funny
slow,
because
real gruesome.
like, yeah, and it's funny because when you're looking at I was looking at some of the like corpses in the morgue, and they all look like they're disfigured and like just like horribly beat up. I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in Louisiana, a lot of scary dead warlocks or whatever, and
Down south, we don't mess around with
people
death.
come back. So like, are they they're like a zombie style, like
Yeah, I think it was like
voodoo style zombie?
yeah, I think it's mostly just like a regular zombie because like I think it's just
Like
the doors of hell opening and the dead, walking the earth again. When there's no room left in hell, the dead will walk there.
Oh man, you're mixing movies now.
Whoa, don't sue me now. Don't sue me now because I'm having a good time. And that's now that I'm really talking for getting sued after that one. There's a shot when she goes in to clean this room. It's like you see the door at number 36. It zooms out and then she opens the door. I was like, why is the number on the inside of the door? I should already know what room I'm in. But I mean, it's a cool shot. It's like 36.
Just in case you forget.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm in 36.
Whoa. That painting he was making is fucking terrifying, dude.
I love it.
Like
it's I think it's awesome. Like I would totally hang that in the house. It's creepy.
Yeah. I mean, no wonder they whipped him with chains. Like, your art is too scary, sir. We can't handle this back in the day.
I've seen hell. This is what it looks like. I'm just painting it. Why you got to be such dicks?
Yeah, but he's seen it, dude.
And then I'm thinking, well, like, I always like end up jumping ahead.
That's
how they end up there pretty much. So I'm assuming that is hell. And then I was like, well, why did those guys kill that other guy? I'm like, okay, well, if he's like some sort of sorcerer, he's seen it, but he also wasn't blind. So, I mean, I guess since he's magic or whatever, he's like, since maybe he's the one that opened it. That's why he's sitting there painting it because he's seen it.
Yeah. I
thought, man, that's really cool. But then again, I don't know, I might be looking too far into the.
It's hard to tell if he like is in on it, like he is part of the gate to hell, or if he was like trying to close it. Because it sounds like when they were like taking him downstairs, he was like cursing them.
Yeah.
because it was like that ADR dialogue. I'm like, oh, the press curse, the gate of hell will open. So like maybe he was like a gatekeeper and he was like trying to stop it. And so he's like painting what he's seeing, like you said. But then like once they open it and they kill him, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody. I'm gonna open this goddamn thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're already dead, there's not, but I mean, does he end up in hell? I mean, is that where he's coming back from?
I would assume so. Maybe
Yeah,
looking too far into it.
I know. I don't know. It was cool. I liked it. And I'm like, man, like now I want to talk to director. So like, is that hell? Has he seen it? Like, is he a bad guy or is he a good guy? Were those guys wrong to kill him? Or like
You got I think he's dead, Fulci. But B, you gotta kill what you don't understand, what you hate. I don't understand warlocks. Get him out of here. I ain't gonna spend my time. What's he gonna do with the children? Think of the children.
he's gonna keep him out of hell. Or he's gonna send them there. I don't know.
Better safe than sorry. Whip them, chain them up,
extremely sharp chains,
and then pour some hot cheese soup on. Soup of the day. John goes and checks the house where Emily was supposed to be. Nobody there, but that book was there. The Ibn, whatever you pronounce it. And then he like proceeds to end up reading the whole thing. Apparently, and he tells Liza, "I read the book you left me." She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't read you a book." Like just read the whole thing and knows. And then when they're in the tunnel and like that starts bleeding on them and like pouring, like spraying blood on them, he's finally like, oh, okay, maybe there's some shit that's real about this. This isn't just a joke anymore. Okay, maybe there's some validity to this.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. That doctor was annoying.
Mm-hmm. He was like trying too hard to be like the cool hero, and then like not even listening to anybody.
Yeah, like the one thing that I wrote down I was looking for here. I'm a doctor, only accept rational explanations.
Yeah,
like, come on, dude.
I'm gonna call the FBI. I mean, at least he went straight for the FBI. Like usually in movies like this, they're like, let's figure it out ourselves. And he's like, let's call help. That's what he did.
Also, the like toward the end here where the zombies come through the wall and grab her, Liza, and the doctor just starts shooting. Just no
hesitation.
Boom,
just boom, boom. And I counted because for it being a 6-shooter, he shoots that thing 15 times before reloading it. And my favorite shot that he does is Liza's in the thing, elevator closes. He gets that guy, shoots him in the shoulder, gets closer, shoots him in the belly, then goes to shoot him in the head, and then like it doesn't fire.
It was really annoying to me how many shots he took before he realized he had to hit him in the head, and then just still proceeded to shoot them in the chest. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, when he's killing trying to shoot the main warlock guy in the end when they're in the morgue, Liza gets attacked by the little Jill. What was her name? Hang on. Yeah, Jill. She gets attacked by him. This guy turns, no hesitation, blows her head off in one shot. Like, oh, now you can shoot someone's head. And just blows the front.
And now you're just like an amazing shot as well.
Yeah, but when it's this giant, slow moving zombie, I can't hit it.
That was the exploding round that he had in there.
This trick is
number 8.
Yeah, it's the exploding pumpkin trick. Boom, right in her face.
I loved that.
And then when it was him and his doctor buddy, they got trapped in that room and he's shooting people. And then he like shoots the glass and it blows it so hard it kills that guy.
Like, was that room pressurized or what?
And there's no real reason that he shot the glass. There was like no zombies in front of him. He's like, hey, cool, check this shit out. Boom.
Yeah, check out this guy. Shoot the glass.
He kills his friend. Oh fuck. And then he just tiptoes out of there.
I like the dude in the body bag on the table, like pulling the plastic.
Yeah,
that was creepy. That was like one of the only scenes that really kind of just because the look on his face too. Just like, ugh.
I do like the way that some of these zombies look. Like there's the guy that was like skin missing from his head that's kind of like sewn up, and like other ones had like melting faces. Like you said, once again, horrible shit happens to people in Louisiana. But like I just like the way they all like just didn't look and just kept walking and shuffling. And my favorite is when before they go into the morgue and they're getting surrounded, you can see some like silhouettes of some like in the mirror, like the windows in the back, and they're just standing there just going. It's like, all right, guys, act like zombies. You're probably not going to be on screen, so just
just wobble back and forth.
Yeah,
really all we need is a shadow. So
And when they leave and they end up back in the basement, that was fucking cool.
That was so cool. I was like, wait, like it took me a second when I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. Like, was that originally the hospital and they went in the basement? I'm like, no, that's the basement of the house.
Yeah, and she's like
Oh,
confused. And then it proceeds to get fogged out, dude. Like they had their fog machine set on high, dude. I was like,
it was
fuck
like the
yeah, fog
time
it out,
you
dude.
brought that one over and it was like broken and just filled my room.
And then like the fire detector went off and it was
Yeah.
up in the, so we had tried to hit it with the broom and the whole thing just fucking fell down. Like, well, that's a good fire smoke
Yeah.
detector.
Well, it's off now.
I just want to warn people out there, don't drink the fog juice. It's just number one thing when you own a fog machine, never drink the fog juice.
Yeah. That it's fog machine ownership 101.
Never drink the fog juice. Everybody does it at least once. So I'm just warning you, don't do it at all.
Yeah.
It's like meth, not even once. Don't drink the fog juice. What I would suggest doing is getting a bottle, labeling it fog juice. That way you don't think it's water.
Think it's, yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
I know. It almost happened to you.
Almost. But
And I was like, whoa, bro, that's fog juice. Yeah. And I smacked it out of your hand like that.
dude, I would have burped fog all day, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That would have been bad.
I will say this is probably one of my all-time favorite endings of a horror movie ever.
I like how it wasn't happy.
Yeah, and it just like they
lost in hell.
walk into hell
And I assume they went blind because hell is horrific.
yeah, like
I thought like that is awesome. I really like I really like this movie.
it's fucking beautiful.
So wonderful pick. I would give it.
Whoa.
I want to rate this because I enjoyed it.
Let's back this up. I'm gonna cover this lady's eyes, even though she can't see. Let's rate it. Let's rate this movie.
All right.
What'd you give it?
I'm giving it 9.5. Like melting faces out of 10.
Oh.
It just, I don't know. Like, even though I don't remember, I'm pretty sure we didn't watch this one when we were in high school, but it just really reminded me of like the really cool stuff we would see back then. And I don't know if it was us taking chances on movies or what it was back then, but I miss doing that. I miss stuff like this. Like, it wasn't cheesy to me, I guess, is what I'm saying.
No, it's like really well done. Like it's shot well. The editing's really cool. Like I love the pacing of it. Like how long just a scene of somebody like walking out of frame goes, and it just holds it for a second. So it's like it's uneasy. That's what I like about this movie.
Yeah.
Just like so uneasy the whole time. Like music's great. Fucking special effects are just like off the walls, off the charts. I'm gonna probably give it 10 oozing heads out of 10 because this movie blew me away when I watched it. I watched it on Shudder. Shout out to Shudder. Shudder, you should pay us some money because this is a really good movie.
Yeah,
you can watch it on Shudder, or you can watch it on Prime, or you can just buy a shirt online.
You can also check it out on Tubi. That's where I watched it with Marshalls. That's awesome.
buy your Beyond shirt, people. It's a great movie. Great shirt.
Fantastic movie, actually.
Best quote is the narrator at the end, which you don't know who he is, just narrates. He says, "And you will face the sea of darkness and all therein that may be explored." I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
See, I would want to explore that, but see, I'd probably end up going blind and then would suck.
It's like, well, great. Now I can't explore the weird ash dead bodies just lying around. And
I don't know, all the lore that goes into like hell and stuff. It's fascinating to me.
I just like how this movie like ramps it up right towards the end too. Like it's,
I mean, this movie, like it comes
kind of like
it comes running out of the gate like pretty hard though.
Yeah. Like there's those like big intense scenes, and then it kind of goes quiet, and at the end it's like, all right, full fucking force, just like nonstop gore, nonstop scariness, nonstop just like fog machines. It was great.
If there are any directors out there that check this out, will you please make movies like this?
I'm too lazy, I'm too old, and I don't have enough money to make movies like this. Go do it for me, please.
Yes, so we can talk about them right here.
Yeah. We don't have time to make a movie and do this podcast. You do the movie, and then we'll talk about it. I think what would be really cool is like, I know people try to make horror movies or like retro movies, but it doesn't look right because they don't film it on the same shit. So like if I were to make a horror movie set in the 80s or whatever like that, I would, I'm sure it's not fucking cheap, but you film it without equipment. So it's got that like same grainy film look. You're like, now I feel like I'm in an 80s movie. But it's always like high def cameras. I'm like, I can't get immersed into this, dude.
And then when they do it that way, it just feels like it just doesn't feel as real, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds weird when I like in my head. It sounds weird when I say that because it's like obviously it's not real and it's all grainy and it doesn't look. I don't know.
It puts you in a different state of mind because you know what era it is, just the way it looks, because it has that like grittiness, that feel of it. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm about to watch like a dope ass scary 80s movie. And it's, I don't know. It's that whole debate of like what's better, film or digital. It's a huge fucking debate, but
I guess it doesn't really need to be a debate. Just like specific movies do better with different mediums, I suppose.
Yeah, use it for what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's supposed to be like an art, be artsy about it in that respect.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let's make
some movies. People can totally get away with that now. It's artsy for like the because it's supposed to take place in the 80s.
It's like a real cool art house movie. You just wouldn't understand. It's made by A24 Studios, so obviously it's really artsy. If you enjoyed this and would like to watch other things such as this, but not specifically this, other shows like podcasts and shows like this, where should they go, Dane?
They should go to either the Project Nerd YouTube or the Project Nerd website.
Whatever you want to do. Project-Nerd. Check it out.
Yeah.
And that was our plug. And that was Two Guys, One Film. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Dane.
And that was The Beyond.
And that was a fantastic movie. Go check it out.
Check it out. I'm waiting for them to check it out.
They'll get back to us.
Yeah,
leave a comment if you checked it out.
Yeah, here, let me hit refresh. No one's checked it out, no.
What if you click it really fast?
Hang on.
Maybe like double.
Starblazer69 says, "You guys suck. Please stop your show." I don't appreciate that, sir. I really don't appreciate that.
We're never gonna.
No one's checked it out. This show's never gonna stop. Starblazer69. This one's for you. I really hope there is a Starblazer69 out there.
If there's not, then
there is now.